Hello and welcome to Risdon Middle School's Back to School Night for the 2021-22 school year. My name is Craig Cooper. I'm the principal here at Risdon Middle School. Thank you for joining us tonight. I wanted to first introduce several staff and just let you know some names and grade levels they are attached to. So in our counseling department, we have Miss Kellogg working with 6th graders, Miss Leewalder working with 7th graders, and Miss Simpson-Berger working with our 8th graders. And then with our administrative team, we have 2 assistant principals and our dean of students. Mr. Braun is our dean of students working with 7th graders. Miss Kelly is our assistant principal working with 6th graders. And Dr. Love is our other assistant principal working with 8th graders. We also have a school nurse. Her name is Lindsay Ono, and she is new to Risdon this year. And then we also have our PTA president, Amy Gambala. And Amy wanted me to share out to everyone, our first PTA meeting will be on September 23rd at 7 p.m. We hope you can join us. There'll be more information about that shared through the Risdon Middle School PTA Facebook page, which is a great resource that you should check out on Facebook. In terms of your students' class schedule, every day starts with a bell at 7:50 in the morning to let students know when it's time to head to class. And then we have approximately 55-minute to hour-long classes throughout the day. Students have lunch during the day based on their 4th period class. And again, this is the schedule for Monday through Thursday. Here we have the schedule for Fridays. And with our late start Fridays, the bell rings later in the day at 9:20 a.m. And then class starts at 9:25 and we proceed on accordingly. One thing we are doing differently this year is you'll notice this flip or rotation of 4th period and 3rd period. We did that so that we keep all of our lunches lined up for 4th period on Fridays. I wanted to mention a couple things about our grading process, and for those coming from elementary, this is probably a familiar concept, but we use a standards-based grading and reporting system. The goal is to present accurate communication about progress towards specific standards. And so your students' grades are sectioned out based on standards and power standards that teachers are aiming for within each trimester. The report cards are also intended to communicate about soft skills, which are things like community skills and effort. The overall academic scores have 4 levels, so a level 4 grade is exceeding standard, a 3 represents meeting standard, a 2 would be approaching standard, and a 1 would be well below standard. There can also be 0.5s used between the various scores on this scale. Again, in terms of the major categories, we have the academic grade, and again, you can see some of the assessments and things that the academic grade should be tied to. And then we have an effort score, which ties in with the completion of homework and classwork, what kind of effort the student is showing toward the class. And then we also have the community skills category, which is where we talk about students accepting responsibility, showing active listening skills, showing respect to their peers and public property, and so on. There is a parent's standards-based grading handbook available through the district website that you are welcome to check out. I wanted to just mention for parents with middle school students, there's a couple important things to note as your student is going through the journey of middle school. I encourage you to consistently check on your student as far as their grades and attendance, just to make sure things are plugging along as you would hope and expect. And then I also would invite you to be involved and join our PTA. You can attend meetings, you can connect with other parents, you can also volunteer and chaperone at other events throughout the year. We would love to have some more volunteers for our lunch supervision program. So there's things to check out with our PTA that can help you connect with other families. I also encourage you to know your students' friends, to just monitor and supervise, to monitor some of the communication that goes on, make sure you're talking with other families as your student is connecting with other friends throughout this time. And then also encouraging students to be involved. It's important to encourage your student to be involved, to help them have extracurricular activities outside of the school day. They can get involved in clubs here at Risdon. We have our athletic programs. We also have student government with ASB. They can be involved in that. And then lastly on this slide, a couple challenges, just things to anticipate as a parent. It's important to let students make mistakes, to understand that that's natural and part of life, that this time of life is a period of intense growth, both physically and socially, emotionally. And so students are going through a lot. If you remember the time of middle school, it can be a challenging time sometimes. So just thinking about and determining when to get involved as a parent. I did hear a good piece of advice years ago about being available but invisible. And so just something to kind of be there when your student needs you, but to also let them try things and let them learn and make mistakes along the way. As far as some of our after-school programs, We do have a drama program that is run by Mr. Ball, and he has shared out and will continue to share out more information about that. We have our ASB program that is run by Mr. Willis, and he will have students involved in putting on various events and things throughout the year. And then we also have after-school clubs, and a lot of information will be coming out about those soon. So feel free to listen for the bulletin announcements. You can encourage your student to listen, or also check out our bulletin online for that information. As far as tonight goes, what you should get out of back to school night are the best ways to communicate with your students' teachers. You should hear some information about the class content and curriculum. It's not really a time to get into specific details about your specific student. If you do need to get into that conversation, you'll want to make a follow-up contact appointment as needed. And as far as the logistics for tonight, you want to be sure that your student has their schedule handy so that you can navigate to their teachers' Canvas pages. Teachers are posting their Zoom links. I've also shared out the master document for accessing the Zoom links for tonight. Each teacher has their own Zoom link for the evening. You'll want to follow your student's schedule through all of the class periods 1 through 6. Each class period has 15 minutes, and so there's not going to be a passing time. You'll just want to switch from one Zoom link to the next when you're ready. After you have finished one class, you'll move on to the next one. Here are the times for tonight's class periods, and again, you're watching this video right now, which is great that you're here with us tonight. So between 6 and 6:30, you're taking in this video. That's great. At 6:30, we will start our class periods, and they will run, as you can see, every 15 minutes. So they will run until 8 p.m., and then we will all retire for the evening. All right, we wish you well, and thank you for joining us tonight. If you do have any specific questions, again, for your teachers or for your students' teachers, please reach out directly to the teacher. You can also complete the form below if you have questions for any of your students' teachers that you want to send to us, and we can funnel that to the appropriate teacher. One way to type in this form, if you want to pause the video right now, you can then type down this link. I will also email out this link when I send out information to families about tonight's event. Thank you so much, and thanks again for joining us tonight.
Hello everyone, my name is Michael Braun, Dean of Students, and a little bit about myself. First of all, my pronouns I go for are he and elle. I grew up in a small town called Homewood, Illinois, and moved to Chicago in 2010. So Chicago is famous for Michael Jordan and Barack Obama. A little bit about myself is I got married in 2020 in Chicago, Illinois, and that my wife is from Santiago, Chile, down in South America. Two things I love are outside of Risden Middle School are trekking and cycling. I've done the cycling route from Seattle to Portland, and I've also gone from Seattle to Vancouver, Canada. Also, I've done lots of trekking and traveled all around the world. One of my favorite spots was a picture taken from Machu Picchu. Some of my responsibilities as Dean of Students includes the 7th grade department. I also support student attendance, investigations, discipline, as well as restorative practices and the PBIS program. So if you have any questions about myself or any questions at Risden, feel free to reach out to me, and my contact information is listed on the slide. Also wanted to let you know that we are here to foster the curious, capable, courageous, and compassionate minds of your students. Go Risden Wolfpack. Ow!
Hi, I'm Maggie Kellogg, 6th grade counselor. We're going to provide general information on several ways to support your student for success. Asking for support is always encouraged. This is a big year as we return to in-person learning. It has been a long remote journey, and we are thrilled to have everyone social distancing together again. Please do reach out to your grade level counselor for any reason at all. We are here to support staff, students, and families. We have outside resources and interventions to offer. A few examples are counseling services, financial hardship resources, and setting up parent-teacher conferences. Please know that you can give your grade level counselor a call or send an email and ask for what you need, and we'll help you problem solve. We value a strong united front partnership between school and home.
My name is Andrea Leewalder, and I'm the 7th grade counselor. Sleep, nutrition, and a quiet study. My name is Andrea Leewalder, and I'm the 7th grade counselor. Sleep, nutrition, and a quiet study. My name is Andrea Leewalder, and I'm the 7th grade counselor. Sleep, nutrition, and a quiet place to study all contribute to a student's academic success. Studies show that students at the middle school level need approximately 10 hours of sleep a night. It can help to achieve this by turning off and removing any device with a lighted screen, such as cell phones, electronic games, and any computers, at least 1 hour before bedtime. This is recommended because the light from the screens can cause sleep problems that will keep your child awake. Nutrition is also an important part of your student's success, so they will have the ability to focus and learn throughout the school day. If your student does not have time to eat at home, know that this year all of the students receive free breakfast and lunch through a federal grant. We encourage all of our students to utilize this option when necessary. It is important to create a quiet space in the home that is distraction-free for your student to complete homework and review classwork daily. The space that you provide should be well suited for your child. So while one student may prefer to have a desk in their room, another child may thrive doing their work at the dining room table or in the family room. The most important part is that your child feels that they can be successful in that study space.
Hello, my name is Sophia Simpson-Berger, and I'm the 8th grade counselor. Skyward is a system we use to record attendance, post grades, and keep track of missing assignments. It's important that you contact our attendance specialist if your child is going to be absent. If your student needs to leave early for an appointment or medical reason, an adult must check them out from our office. We encourage you to review Skyward with your child at an agreed upon time on a regular basis, so you are both aware of your child's academic progress. Skyward has a few wonderful features, including a tab that you can use to email your child's instructional team. If you forgot your Skyward password, there's a reset button on the main page. We look forward to working with you during this transitional year.
Hi, I'm Brianna Kelly, and I'm the 6th grade assistant principal here at Risdon Middle School. We're so excited for you and your families to be joining us as new Timberwolves to our middle school, and we have a fantastic group of staff who are going to be guiding you on your journey to high school and maybe beyond. I am really excited to be getting to know each of you throughout the year. Just like you, this is my first year at Risdon. So for me, relationships are going to be really important, and it's not always going to be a bad thing to end up having to come to the assistant principal's office. Some of the things that you might learn about me is I have 3 dogs that I love very much. Their names are Tucker, Rosie, and Daisy. I grew up on a raspberry farm, so if you ever want to talk about where to find the best raspberries, let me know. And I have a mom who is also a teacher and a dad who was a pilot, and so being in the Renton area is a fantastic combination of both of those things in my life that are really important. So as you get to know me throughout the year, come tell me some of the things that are important to you, and we'll start to build those relationships that'll get us through the year. I mentioned that we have a fantastic team of teachers here who are going to support you on your journey, and I'd like to introduce some of them now.
Hi, I'm Anastasia Umstead, and I teach 6th grade language arts.
Hello, I'm Stephen Royko, and I teach language arts, social studies, and one section of world events. Welcome to Risdon.
And your language arts class.
Hi, I'm Miss Gaither. I am a 6th grade social studies this year at Risdon Middle School. I teach honors and general.
Hi, I'm Jay Bryant. I teach 6th grade social studies and 6th grade science. And another teacher you can have this year is Stephen Royko, who teaches 6th grade social studies with language arts and world events.
Welcome to social studies.
Hello, I'm Bradley Clark, and I'm a 6th grade science teacher.
Hi, I'm Alexandra Kamer. I'm a 6th grade science teacher, and I also co-teach 6th grade ELA and 6th grade math.
Hi, I'm Jay Bryant, and I teach 6th grade science and 6th grade social studies.
And we are
the 6th grade science team.
Hi, I'm John Sullivanoff.
Hi, I'm Daniel Romine.
Hi, I'm Michelle Murphy.
And we are the 6th grade math team for the 2021-2022 school year.
Hello, everyone. I am Mr. Thompson, aka Coach Thompson. I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th grade integrated math and reading scholars. 2021/2022 is going to be a fantastic school year. I look forward to seeing you guys on my Zoom video link. If you want to get more questions or having more questions answered, have a great day. Go Timberwolves.
Hey everybody, my name is Caitlin Kelly and I am the health teacher here at Risden. I am the lucky one. I get to teach all of our 6th graders here. I also, something new this year is I get to teach one PE 7A class every trimester, so that's been really fun so far. In health, your students will take 5 units: wellness, social, mental, and emotional health, nutrition, substance use, misuse, and abuse, and we will end our trimester with our family life sexual health unit. This is my, I think, 9th year teaching and my 3rd year here at Risden. I really look forward to getting to know everybody. Take care.
Hey parents, hey students, my name is Dominic Core. I'm the 6th grade PE teacher here at Risden. I've been teaching here about two years and look forward to working with your students. Talk to you soon.
Hi, my name is Christine Olson and I teach language arts for multilingual learners.
Hey everybody, it's Mr. Majors here. I teach art at Risden Middle School. We're here in the studio right now where we do all sorts of things. My favorite things to teach are printmaking, clay, and paint, which we'll be doing behind me soon. Can't wait to meet you.
Hi there, my name is Garth Ball. I teach drama and language arts here at Risden Middle School. And what I'm looking forward to most this year is introducing the students in my drama production class to film from a filmmaker's perspective. I've been getting more into film myself the past year or so and directed a few short films myself. So I'm interested in sharing that knowledge with students and seeing what creative things they come up with. Stay tuned for more info about our Risden Film Festival toward the end of the trimester.
Hi Timberwolf families, my name is Selena DeGroot and I am a special education teacher. I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. This is my 5th year teaching and I have been a part of the Risden community since they first opened. Really excited for this year and hope you guys are too.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Pinkowski, special education teacher. Happy to be at Risden.
Hi there, my name is Teresa Hundelt, and I co-teach language arts 8th grade with Miss Sawyer, 7th grade with Miss Wenzel, and then I'm also a special education teacher. I have 2 small group language arts classes, 6th grade and 8th grade.
Hello, my name is Molly Ewing, and I teach orchestra at Risden to students in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. We have a beginning, intermediate, and advanced class, so we can reach students of all different levels. I look forward to teaching your students about string instruments this year and making music together.
Hi everybody, Mr. Ragona here. I know most of you know me, but in case you don't, I teach Risden bands. That includes beginning band, advanced band, intermediate band, and of course, jazz band. All of those together create a wonderful music learning experience where we learn more than just about music. We also learn about life and how to practice. Stay tuned for more information. I can't wait to see you guys.
Hello and welcome to the Risden Library. I am Ellen Peterson and this is my first year as librarian at Risden. I really love finding the perfect book for students as well as finding answers to students and staff questions, even the weird ones. Exciting, as of this year, our library is open for students to use and for students to borrow books. Students can visit on their own time before school, during lunch, and after school, as well as coming at their teacher's discretion and sometimes with an entire class. Students can check out up to 3 books for up to 3 weeks at a time. We always recommend that students bring back books as soon as they've finished them. There's a return bin just inside the door of the library so that they don't get lost, damaged, and so that other students can use them. We also have other online resources for research, plus media literacy and digital citizenship that we'll get into later this year. In addition, students can access ebooks and digital audiobooks through our Sora service. There are two main places to find resources and information from the Risdon Library online. The first, more targeted towards students, is Canvas. Most other middle school classes also use Canvas, so this should be familiar to students. You simply go to the Renton login page, click Instructure Canvas, wait for it to load, and then go to the Risdon MS Library page, or course rather. In the past, there have been courses that had a year. This year's does not have a year on it. Just look for the open book icon. Once you're inside the course, you can link to all sorts of information. Everything from contacting me to using Destiny, that's our library catalog, to place holds, find books that we have, and generally explore. Sora allows you to check out ebooks and digital audiobooks. Databases tells you places you can find information online and also gives passwords to these sources. Library FAQ answers your frequently asked questions, and book requests allows students and staff to share books they think we should add to our library collection. As you can see, more will be coming later this year. The other way for you to get information about our library is to simply search Risdon Library. Straightforward, right? Once you click on that page, it has a few pieces of important information. The library catalog allows you and your families and students to look for books online and also place hold on high demand titles. It also has my contact information linked here, as well as links to databases, other research resources, our annual book award programs, and more. As a family member or a student, you can feel free to use our library's webpage. This has been helpful. If you do have questions, feel free to reach out. You can find my email, ellen.peterson@rentonschools.us, linked on the Risdon Library webpage. I'm also happy to answer students' questions in person in the library.
Hello, parents and students. My name is Bradley Clark, and I teach 6th grade science at Risdon Middle School. And I'm going to be talking to you today about standards-based grading. Standards-based grading is a little bit of a challenge for parents and students, and sometimes for new teachers. And the reason it can be a challenge is because there's a lot of people who feel that since 4 is the highest number, that 4 is what everybody should be trying to get to. And that's not really true. The target that you're aiming for, as you can see on the screen, is a 3. A grade of a 3 means that the student has achieved 100% of what the teacher wanted that student to learn or to be able to do. Now, obviously, 1s and 2s are below standard, and a 2 is approaching. It's close. They're not quite there, but they're close. And a 1 is obviously they're much further from the standard. I don't want parents and students to get concerned too much if they're at a 1 or a 2 in the very beginning of a trimester. Now, at the end of the trimester is typically where you see the grades go up, because at the end of the trimester, the students should have learned all they need to learn about the standard, and they should be at a 3. So if they're at the end of the trimester and they're still getting 1s and 2s, that's a lot more to be concerned about. Now, a 4, I get this from a lot of students. A student says, my mom really wants me to get a 4. And a 4 is exceeding grade level. As you can see from the pictures here, if I'm trying to teach a kid to ride a bike, riding a bike is a 3, but being able to do tricks and flip upside down and all that kind of stuff, that's way above what the teacher is expecting us to get. So a 3 is where you want to be, and 1 and a 2 means that they're still approaching standard, they're still learning the standard, and a 4 means that the standard is so incredibly easy to the child that you might consider putting them in an honors level class next trimester or next school year, and things like that. Okay. I also want to point out that there is a standard for effort, and the effort grade for 6th grade I think is actually more important than the standards themselves, the academic grades. If a student is really applying themselves and trying their best and completing all the work that the teacher wants, they should be getting a pretty good grade for their effort grade. And even with that, sometimes the content can be challenging, and sometimes a student gets a 2. But if their effort grade is high and they get a 2, I would still be proud of that child. So please look at your child's effort grade on a regular basis. It doesn't show up on the first layer of Skyward. You have to actually dig into it to see the effort grade, but it's important to look at effort grades as well. All right, thank you very much. Have a great day.
Hi, my name is Anastasia Umstead, and I'm a 6th grade teacher here at Risden. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about monitoring your students' progress. So first we're going to talk about Skyward, so what it is and what information is included. So Skyward is where you would go to find information about bus route and stop information, food service info, grades and missing assignments, class schedules, attendance and discipline history, health and immunization information, and emergency contact information. To log in and to find more information, you would go to the Renton School District website, click on where it says Students and Families, and then click on Skyward under Family Resources. There's also information there for if you have not logged in before on how you would do that. So this is an example of what a gradebook would look like when you log in. It's slightly different because this is a semester view and we do trimesters. But basically it would show all of your students' different classes and what grade they have for each class. Let's say you wanted to find out more information about that grade. So for the class that you would like to look into, you can click on the arrow next to that class, and you would see by category in that one class, so for science, what your student's grade is for each of the different categories underneath. And it would show trimester 1, trimester 2, trimester 3, depending on where we're at. It would have it highlighted in yellow for the current trimester. You can get even more detailed by clicking on the arrow next to a standard. And a standard is just like a goal or a skill for that class. So if you wanted to look more into science and engineering skills, you could click on that. And then you would actually get a breakdown of each assignment that is included in that standard and what grade your student got on that assignment. So you'll see different types of grades for each of your students' classes. They'll get an academic grade for each class, which would be like their overall class grade. It's organized by standards or goal for each class, different skills that they're trying to learn. And those assignments or those grades are based on assignments, tests, quizzes, projects, essays, etc. Your student will also receive an effort grade for each of their classes, and that's based on things like coming to class prepared and completing their classwork and homework. Lastly, the community skills grade is a grade that's based on the community skills, like accepting responsibility for actions, active listening, respecting the property and others, and values instructional time. So for each of the students' classes, you'll get 3 grades, one for each of these. All right, so that's just a very brief overview of Skyward. Next, we are going to talk about Canvas. So Canvas is where a student goes and actually maybe does assignments or takes a test or a quiz for a class. So it connects teachers and students with the content, the learning activities, and assignments. It's basically like a class website where students will find all of our materials. If you've used or your student has used Google Classroom in the past, it's similar to that. Each of your students' teachers will have their own page and different expectations for how they kind of run their page and what they put on it. So your student will find out more about that in each of their different classes. It is possible to get an observer account. So basically, guardians can create an account where they can get on Canvas and be able to see the content. You'll be able to see materials, but the students will have to work from their own account. So it's really just like observing kind of what's going on in the class. It's a good way to see scores and look at what the student is learning or working on. And just kind of helpful information is that a guardian can have multiple students observed on one account. So you don't have to have multiple logins. You could just have one login for multiple students. There is a video for how to set up this account on the district website. So I'm going to go ahead and show just how to get to that website so that you could watch it later. But it's on the Renton website. You would go to Learning and Teaching, scrolling down to Digital Learning. Then you would go to Digital Tools and scroll down. And underneath Accessing Digital Tools, there is a How Students and Families Access Digital Tools. And underneath Canvas, there is How Families Access Canvas. And then it'll take you directly to the video link on how to do that. All right. So that is just a little bit of information about monitoring your students' progress by checking Skyward and checking Canvas. There is a lot more information, though, on the district website if you need more information.